What's up? I'm having a chat with Johnny of Pet Needs. How are you?
I'm good, Jim. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. You've been busy releasing some new music. We've been playing a new single of yours called Sleep When I'm Dead. Tell us a little bit about the single, first of all.
Yeah, sure. It's a song, it's kind of the whole of the album is a little bit of a love letter to my hometown of Colchester. Um, and this song was kind of inspired by when I was working full time for a students' union, and it was in lockdown. And my internet went down, and I had to go and work from Weatherspoons, which is just round the corner. And it got to the point where I was working for there for a week, and it got to the point where I could locate all of the plug sockets in Weatherspoons. Then realised how tragic that was as well. So it kind of like started with that. It's like it's not a brag that you know where all the plug sockets are in your local Weatherspoons. And then kind of built into a song. Kind of subverting the kind of Motley Crue kind of like I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of like rock and roll kind of mentality, um, and kind of just says like I'll sleep when I'm dead or when I'm next in bed because I'm 35 years old now, and I love partying hard, but I also love sleeping as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. And it's coming off your third record, coming out on the 16th of February, called Intermittent Fast Living. What can people expect to hear when they get a chance to take a listen?
It's a record written kind of from the road. We spend about 8 months a year on tour. But I didn't want to write one of these kind of life on tour, life on the road records that everyone seems to do when they start touring. And it became kind of like a love letter home to like to my wife, to my dog, and to my friends, and to this little town of Colchester in Essex. And the reason it's called Intermittent Fast Living is kind of exactly what I do now. I'm either living at a million miles an hour touring the world, or I'm at home with my new little puppy who's just run downstairs. Like I'm at home with him with like a little glass of wine on the sofa. We tried to write an album of basically of complete bangers as well. That's the bar that we set for ourselves, kind of inspired by Rancids and Out Come the Wolves, where every single song could be a single. Which we've never really done that before. We've tried to have a mixture of like singles and album tracks before, but this one we were just like, let's set ourselves that bar of just every single song needs to be single worthy, needs to be a banger. And it feels like we've achieved it, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned being on tour. You were touring across the UK in November and December. How was that?
Yeah, it was great fun. It was so cool. And we went to loads of places that we'd never been before. And it's really weird kind of rolling into a town, not just one that you've never played in before, but a town that you've never been before. And have people show up. Like that's really nuts. That's a really kind of really kind of life affirming experience. So we were playing places like Blackpool and Bournemouth and Mexborough and stuff, which we'd never gone before. And it was amazing. And it was amazing to be back in the UK as well, because we spent the majority of our time last year over in America. We did 3 tours over there, a little bit out in Europe, and felt like we kind of neglected the UK a little bit. So to be able to finish, and also like our final gig of the year was in our hometown in Colchester as well. Yeah, it was amazing, man. I love the UK.
Yeah, good. And you've got more touring coming up for the first part of this year. You've got loads of dates in the UK, and you're off to Europe once again.
Yeah, that's it. And we're off. That's the thing. Like, because we've been touring so much and we've been out to America so much, I feel there's so many different areas that we have not toured for so long. Um, Germany being one of those. Like, we have a really amazing following in Germany. There's so many cool people that come out to the shows. And I'm gutted to say that we didn't get out there to headline at all last year. So I'm really excited to go out and headline there, as well as doing some headline shows in the Netherlands and in France as well, which we've never done before, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And then we're into festival season. You've got one booked in at the moment. What's your plan for festival season?
Um, we've got a few booked in, but we've got one announced at the moment. But it's for the first time since we've started touring properly, we're actually going to be in the country for festival season, which is really really exciting. Um, I can't say which, but we've had our first ever major festival main stage booking as well. Which we always go that have those little things that you want to tick off, like the first time you release a vinyl, first time you get like something in HMV, first time you played to like over 1,000 people. And one of the things we haven't ticked off yet is going into a field and just seeing people as far as you can see. So yeah, we've got a festival main stage, which is really, really exciting. And it looks like every weekend we're going to be popping up at varying sizes of festivals as well. Like literally this weekend we're going to be playing a festival called Insider, which I think is about 500 to 1,000 cap the whole festival. And I love those kind of independent festivals as well. They're just going to run with such heart. So we're going to be jumping between playing the big major ones and then like playing smaller ones as well. And each one brings its own type of magic. So yeah, I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to talk a little bit about the writing side of things as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
So they start on a battered acoustic guitar that I bought off my friend for 60 quid. And I sit in my spare room, and it starts with basically the first words of like either first verse or the chorus. Like, oh, I never start kind of writing a song from the middle and working out. I always start right at the start and then running it whatever direction it goes in, kind of thing. Which is why some of our songs will be kind of your normal kind of punk rock or kind of like poppy kind of configuration, and some of them will just be like a stream of consciousness, kind of like running off in a tangent. And then when I'm confident with them, I'll record them in a voice note and I'll send them to my brother George, who's our guitarist, and he will tell me in no uncertain terms whether he's confident in them or not. And a lot of songs die at that moment. But then if he's confident in them, then I'll go to his little home studio and we'll start working it up from there. And we'll take this little embryonic idea and build it into a full song.
Nice. And what about the lyrics side of things? How easy do you find putting lyrics to the music you create?
So it always starts with lyrics. And I mean, I'm ashamed to say that I used to have like a book that I used to carry around with me. A lot of the times now it's just like in notes on my phone. And everything starts with a lyric. If I don't have the lyrics, I can't write the song. I don't ever go with melody first or anything like that. I need to have an idea and I need to have something to write about, or like just a little turn of phrase, something to bounce off. But I genuinely do kind of feel bad at the moment that I'm not writing anything down physically, because we were in Cleveland a couple of months ago. And if you're a touring band, you get to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for free. So you kind of just show your like tour laminate and you go in. And I was looking at all kind of like all the old Beatles, like we had Paul McCartney kind of like scribbling out the lyrics to Hey Jude and rewriting them in the studio and stuff. And had that, and you had like Nirvana's like handwritten lyrics and stuff. So I really want to try and kind of leave a bit more of a paper trail for the stuff we're doing. But yeah, everything starts with a lyric. It needs to have a lyric. If I don't have any words, don't have any lyrics, then a song is just not going to get formed, to be fair.
Yeah. Have you got any lyrics that come to mind that you've not used yet that you really want to use in a song at some point in the future?
Oh my God. That quite potentially. There's one lyric that I'm kind of like knocking about at the moment about well, it's kind of an idea basically. And I'm a fan of loads of these bands, but it's kind of like I want to write a song about the fact that it's hard to explain. Basically, like punk rock history has been written by all the punks that made it, basically. And like I feel like people always say like history is written by the winners, and I want to explore the idea about like punk rock history being written by all the anti-capitalists that gained the most capital by being successful. So it's not a lyric as such at the moment, but it's kind of like an idea that I want to explore. It's kind of based on like someone that I have I really admire, but I feel is really problematic as well. I grew up like my favorite band when I was a kid was Sex Pistols, and I idolized John Lydon. And then now I'm kind of like a fully grown man. I understand that he's more problematic than I thought at the start. But one thing that he does a lot is just shout about how rubbish modern punk is and how it was all his idea and all this kind of stuff. But also like whilst trying to hold a stance of being kind of like an anti-capitalist or like kind of against like higher powers and stuff, whilst also being a millionaire. So I want to kind of explore that. I think that's the kind of next idea that I'm going to dive into.
Nice, excellent, Johnny. It's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Oh, good to see you again, Jim. Thanks so much, man.